Hi guys, welcome to today's tutorial. We are going to be making this beautiful dashiki top. If that seems like something you'd like to learn, keep on watching. So we're starting off with our fabric on fold, and then we're going to fold it again so that it's folded 4 times to get the front piece and the back piece, because we're going to be cutting the two of them together. So after we folded our fabric, we're now going to mark the length of our top, and the top length is 28 inches plus 2 inches, which will serve as the hemming allowance, an allowance to join the front and back piece together at the shoulder. Then after marking our top length, we'll square it out. Then we're going to go towards the top of the fabric, where we're going to mark the shoulder measurement and the sleeve measurement together, because this top is like a kimono top, so we're not going to cut the arm or the sleeve separately. We're going to mark them together. So at the top of the fabric, we're going to mark half of the shoulder measurement plus the sleeve length, and the shoulder measurement I'm working with is 15, so half is 7.5. the sleeve length is also 7.5, making a total of 15. Then I'm going to add 1.5 inches, which will serve as the hemming allowance for the sleeve. So from the shoulder measurement, we're going to come down by 1 inch, which will serve as the shoulder slope, and from that 1 inch mark we'll come down by another 9 inches that will serve as the armhole depth. So now we're going to go to the folded edge of the fabric at the top and mark the neck measurements. So first of all, we're going to mark the back neckline, and the width of the back neckline is 4 inches while the depth is 1.5 inches. Then after marking out the measurements, you're going to curve the neckline. You can curve using a French curve or freehand like I am doing. After marking out the neck measurements for the back piece, you're going to join the shoulder slope from the neckline all the way down to the 1 inch mark that we made for the shoulder slope. Then you're going to come down from the armhole depth by about 2 inches and mark, this is the chest line where we're going to place our bust measurement. So on the chest line, we're going to place 1/4 of our chest measurement. Then you're going to add 1.5 inches for ease, and then you're going to add 1.5 inches, which will be the sewing allowance to the measurement. After marking out this measurement, you're going to curve from the armhole depth to where you marked the bust measurement on the chest line. You can also use a French curve if you'd like to get a perfect curved line, or you can simply curve freehand like I just did. Then at the bottom of the fabric at the hemline, you're going to mark the same thing you marked on the chest line, because this is meant to be a free top. Then you're going to join the two lines together. Next, you're going to cut out your markings, and then you take off the back piece so that you can cut out the facing for the back and the neckline for the front. Now, as you can see, after cutting it out, we have 2 pieces on fold. One will be for the front and one is for the back. From the front piece, we're going to be cutting out the front neckline, and the neck depth for the front piece is about 8 inches, but this top has a slit at the center of the front neckline. So we'll come down first of all by 5 inches and curve that towards the top or the shoulder line. Then from the 5-inch mark, we'll cut it out and curve the tip, as you can see me doing, then slit from that point to the 8-inch mark. When you open it up, you see the neckline that we've created. Next, we're going to be cutting out facing for the back and the front neckline. So for the facing, we're going to be using a piece of fabric about 14 inches long by 11 inches wide, and we're going to place that on fold. Then we're going to place that piece of fabric behind or beneath the fabric for the front piece of the dashiki top that we're making. Then we're going to cut out the neckline. We're going to repeat the same for the back piece. We'll fold our fabric and then cut out the back neckline. Now we're done cutting out our pieces, so we're going to move over to our sewing machine. So to start with, we're going to turn over the neckline, and unlike the scrub top which we made earlier, the facing is not going to be in front, it's going to be at the back. So we're going to place the right side of the facing facing the right side of the fabric. Then when we're done doing that, when we've placed it correctly, we're going to sew it down and join the two together. After we're done sewing it down, we're going to make little slits which will make it easier to turn over. When making the slits, please don't go past the line that we sewed down. We're going to repeat the same thing on the front piece. We're placing the right side of the facing the right side of the fabric, and we're going to sew it down and then turn it over. Now I didn't slit the facing of the front piece, so after sewing it down, I'm going to slit in the same position as the front neckline. So when you turn it over, it's going to look something like this. Feel free to give that neckline a very good press so that all the corners are able to come out. When you're slitting, don't cut past the line that was used to sew it down. Next, we're going to be joining the front and the back piece together at the shoulder. Remember, there is no armhole cut out separately, so we're just going to join the shoulder together from the neckline right down to the end of that fabric. So to join the shoulder together, I usually start by joining the facing first of all. So you're going to flip the facing over and then you start joining from the facing. So make sure that all lines are placed or aligned, and then you're going to sew from the beginning of the facing all the way down to the shoulder. After joining the shoulder on both sides, feel free to hem the sleeves, and then you can go ahead to join the sides together. So this is what the neckline looks like when I've joined the two shoulders together. Everything is neat and nicely hidden. So the next thing I'm going to do is place the pockets on the front piece of this top. I'm starting over by folding down the pocket by 1/2 inch and then folding down by 1 inch in order to hem the top of the pocket. Then I'm going to move over to the fabric and I'll come down from the shoulder by about 18 inches, and that's where I'm going to place the pocket. So my pocket is about 6 inches deep. So from the 18 inches mark, I'm going to come down by 6 inches and mark at 24. And this is where the pocket is going to lie. Then I'm going to mark where the pocket is going to lie from the edge of the fabric, which is about 4 inches from the fabric edge, so that it doesn't get caught while you're hemming or while you're joining the fabric at the sides. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place the fabric on the material or the body of the top, and then I'm going to fold it down and pin it in place so that I'll just have to sew it in this position. The essence of pinning down the pocket is just to make sure it fits perfectly into the place or the position you've marked out for it, and then you place it on those markings, make sure it's well aligned, and then you're going to sew along the corners of the pocket with about 1/8 inch allowance. So you repeat that for the second pocket, then you can go ahead to hem the top at the bottom. So you're going to fold in by 1/2 inch, then fold again by 1 inch to make sure all those edges are nice and hidden. Next, I'm going to join the top at the side from the sleeve all the way down to the bottom. Remember, we've hemmed our or folded in the sleeve earlier so that all edges are neatly taken care of. And that is simply how to make a kimono or daishiki top. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.